Hello and welcome to section 8.3, a quick overview of perimeter and area. So we're going to talk about formulas for area and perimeter of polygons. We're going to go over the Pythagorean theorem, and we're also going to talk about the formulas for area and circumference of a circle. And then again, kind of revisit the idea of square unit conversions. So perimeter of any two-dimensional figure is the sum of the lengths of the sides. Area is the space, the measure of the region within the boundaries of the figure. So for a rectangle, the perimeter is 2 lengths plus 2 widths. And the area is length times width. For a square, basically all the sides are the same, so it's side plus side plus side plus side plus side, or 4 times s, and the area would be side squared. For a parallelogram, you have 2 bases and 2 widths. So that's your perimeter, and the area is base times height. Triangle, add up the sides, area, 1/2 base times height. Trapezoid, add up the 2 sides and add up the bases, and the area is 1/2 the height times the sum of the bases. You do not need to memorize formulas for this test or unit. You will have a formula page, and it will look something like this. So typical kinds of questions you're going to be looking at, for example, would be to determine the area and then perhaps the cost of something that covers that area. So here the area is length times width, 82,080 feet squared, and then how many pallets need to be purchased. So you have the 82,080 divided by the area covered by 1 pallet, 480. You would need 171 pallets of sod. Since we know the cost of each of those, then we need to multiply that times 360, where it'll cost $61,560 to sod that field. Pythagorean theorem. This is only going to apply to right triangles. The shorter sides we call legs, A and B are what we call legs. The long side C is called the hypotenuse. And the ratio of these sides are such that squaring A and squaring B and adding them would give you the square of C. So we often hear somebody say A squared plus B squared equals C squared. In this particular case, 24 squared plus 18 squared would be equal to the length of this ladder squared. Here we have a moat surrounding a castle, and an invading army is going to try to use a ladder. So 24 squared plus 18 squared is 900. And then you're going to take the square root of that to solve for C. So the ladder would have to be more than 30 feet long so that they could actually use this. Now we have circles, set of points equidistant from a fixed point we call the center. If you have a line that goes through the center from one side to the other, we call it a diameter. If it only goes from the center to the edge, we call it a radius. So a radius is 1/2 the diameter. If you give me the diameter of a circle, but a formula uses a radius, you have to make sure to first take half of the diameter. The circumference is the distance around the circle, kind of like the perimeter, if you will. To find the circumference, you take 2 times pi. Typically, we're going to use 3.14 unless it tells you otherwise, times the length of that radius. The area is pi times the radius squared. So here, for example, we have a circle. We also have a parallelogram. They're going to do some work here to find the area of the shaded area. So we're going to find the area of the parallelogram, but we're also going to find the area of the circle and subtract. The height of the parallelogram is the diameter of the circle. Remember, this is only the radius. The entire diameter would be double that, or 4. So the area of the parallelogram is going to be base 10 times height 4, or 40 square feet. The area of the circle is pi r squared. So it's pi times 2 squared, or 4 pi. Remember, again, we're going to use 3.14. So we multiply, and then we can subtract.